Hello, welcome to episode 17 of the Bridge of Awareness channel. I ended the last episode with these words of guidance. Weld together these new understandings with ancient thoughts. Help build a new society which encompasses our understandings, in which you become true children of the universe with freedom of thought and choice, and allow others to enjoy such freedom as you. As I mentioned earlier, the words I share with you now came through a channel of communication that lasted just over 3 years. Its ending was painful to me at the time, but absolutely as it needed to be. I then began my work of taking these teachings out to a wider audience by way of talks and workshops at home and abroad, putting them into a book as I was asked to do. I also had a busy healing practice. I had no idea what the universe had in store for me beyond that. I looked no further. But what I didn't expect was partnerships with more mediums. 4 more, as it turned out, and each one opening a new and unique channel with its own purpose, each happening unexpectedly, but each within the overall objective of bringing in this new age of spiritual awakening. I have to accept that there is something about my energy that helps facilitate this process. But my practical role is basically to support the mediums and to record what transpires. 2 of those mediums are now with us in spirit only, but I continue to work with the remaining 2 on a regular basis. And I hope to share more of this with you at some point. But for now, I will just say that our work has opened the way for beings or entities from other dimensions and locations in the universe. Open the way for them to enter our world in order to help us, to help the planet, humankind, and all life to survive. The love they bring is indescribable. As one of the mediums once told me, if they asked me, I would go with them in a heartbeat. So, why do I feel guided to share this fragment of information with you at this moment? I believe it's because it places the teachings of Zed in their rightful position within a wider framework. A framework that is laying the foundations for a massive shift in understanding for humankind. In fact, in answer to my grandson's original question, what is the point of being alive if you're just going to die. The other day, for some reason I can't remember, I was reading through a transcript that I'd written back in 2018, where the medium I was working most closely with reported that she had been given these words of prediction being a very unusual experience. The word said this: in the future, God will be experienced differently, not as a religion, but how it works. Okay, I'll read that again. God will be experienced differently, not as a religion, but how it works. My friend said she then experienced what that would feel like. She said, very real and alive and wide in energy, open, broad, and balanced. How it works begins in these Zed teachings. It's up to you, of course, how you process and use the information. You always have choice. But I believe these teachings provide that foundation on which to build. Okay, so let's move on a little now. There's a little anecdote that I'm rather fond of, and you've probably heard it. It goes like this. Probably the wealthiest man in the world at that time, Aristotle Onassis, died in 1975. And at his funeral, someone was heard to ask the question, I wonder how much he left. A voice in the crowd answered, all of it. You might say that on a material level, death is a great leveler. This is not the case, however, on the level that really counts, the level of spiritual awareness. As Zed put it, you can leave this planet wealthier than anyone has ever dreamed of. Surely this is what life should be about. Not seeking the security of the collection of material things, but of accumulating spiritual wealth. So what we have to offer people is greater than any material possession they could ever wish to have. That is the awareness of the total knowledge within them. Our higher self knows everything about us. It knows everything we need to know. So why does the mind seek to bypass it? We forget it's part of the creation, and it's our mind's closest link to the source. As Zed once said, it's like trying to make a long-distance phone call when a local one is all that is needed. So to recap, Your higher self incarnates time and time again into a physical body, whatever gender, nationality, colour, parentage, etc., is required within the universal law of karma. Why? Because the higher self has access to all knowledge, but what it lacks is the awareness of that knowledge. And this can only be gained through experience. Planet Earth provides valuable experience for raising our awareness, as do other places in the universe in a different way. So the objective is to feed our experience of life through our body, our emotions, and our minds, and thence move it inwards to our higher self, to the point of connection with ultimate truth, where those experiences may then be processed into the greater state of awareness, and that is then expressed into our life. Later on, I will offer a visual explanation of how this works. Meantime, I hope you're giving yourself the time and space you need for your journey. And this might involve taking a fresh look at your current priorities. See you next time. Goodbye.